What we're going to try and do today is a very exciting new idea. It's got its roots in a place called Porto Alegre in Brazil, where for the very first time they invited local people to come along and vote themselves what they'd like to see their money spent on.
Well, in Brazil, they had a period of military dictatorship for many years, and in the early 80s, when that ended, there was a huge demand for sort of democracy, and everybody was very keen for people to get involved in civil society, to get involved in the community as such. So the Workers' Party in Brazil came up with this idea of participatory budgeting. There they have a whole city-wide process where they get community groups from all over the city coming together to use some of the ideas that we're going to use today here to decide how to spend investment money, so new money of the council.
We have a sum of money that we want to invest in Morecambe, so groups who perhaps we haven't always been that well connected to. We ask groups to bid for up to £2,000 for their own group. They could do one bid of £2,000, or they could do a bid of a lesser amount, £500 or £600, or they could do 2 or 3 bids totalling up to £2,000. We asked them to specify that it would benefit the people of Poulton and would help to create a stronger community. That's our emphasis. Every person who lives in Poulton is able to vote for everyone who they see, and they score it out of 10. There's no ranking. They simply look at, they hear a presentation, and they say, right, well, that was really good. I'll give it a 10. But at the end of the day, we collect all the voting slips in, we top them all up, and once we get to £20,000, that's the cut-off.
You all know that we're giving out £20,000 this afternoon, and there are 26 groups, and even by my maths, I can tell that £20,000 is not going to fund everybody's hopes and aspirations. But what we'd like to say to you is, if you're one of the groups at the end of the day who isn't lucky enough to win a grant, again, if you contact one of the people with badges, we'll talk to you about what alternative grant funding might be available.
At this moment, we're hoping to take between 15 and 20 kids on holiday to Berkshire, and the only way we'll do it is by fundraising, and this to me is one of the prime ways of trying to raise the money to go to this venue. It's a worthwhile cause. It gets 20 kids away from the parents for a while, keeps them off the streets, and it keeps them entertained, and it also improves their outlook on the environment and habitation of animals. And basically that is our idea. Get the kids off the streets, get them into something which is good, healthy and entertaining.
I think we've got a pretty good chance, but there's a lot of other people here as well who've got a good cause for all the money to go to.
We'll be very lucky, quite frankly, to be successful today. I think there are some wonderful bids. I mean, I've had a look through the literature myself, and there are some really good schemes seeking funding today. So I think we've got tough competition, and we will be very lucky if we're successful. I think one of the positives that we will take away from today, regardless of whether we're successful or not, is the publicity for the scheme that we're offering. And we've already had some interest shown from some of the youth organisations in coming out on sessions that we have planned later this year. So that for us is a positive already, really.
I think people who get involved in this sort of event really get enthused by it. I think it's really successful, not only for distributing money, but for really building people's feeling that they're part of a community. It will be great when it gets going. We'll be able to see all the different ideas, all the different energy that people have in their community for making it better.
I think people will have a great day. It's a long day, but it should be fun, should be entertaining. I feel concerned for the presenters because they're not going to realise how many people they're talking to until they stand up on that stage.
Let's start off then, and because Dean's first, I think we really should give him a warm welcome because it is quite difficult being first.
We represent the Morecambe and Heysham Model Railway Club. The display in front of you should give you a brief idea of what we do. We don't want to be greedy, and even though we certainly could use £2,000, after careful and prolonged discussion, the committee decided that £800 is enough to complete phase 1 of our plans.
The next group, we've got Angela, Becky and Claire, and they're from Poulton Preschool.
We're here to ask you for your vote. Our nursery is in great need of a makeover, and this money would make a massive difference to us.
At MAD, we teach young people how to fish and how to look after the environment around them.
I'd like to welcome you to the volunteers of the Morecambe Drumline and the Bay Vanguard.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce you to Ebony Harrison, who's a member of the Schools Council from Morecambe Bay Primary School.
We went round to different classes and the children told us one main thing, that they did not have enough to play with at playtime.
We are bidding today for £2,000 to upgrade our training material.
Today we're asking for £2,000 to replace old instruments and to purchase a much needed uniform for the Academy Band to give it a real identity.
What's more important than the money is the feedback from the audience, the fact that people are recognising, perhaps applauding their presentations, and really also the networking, the fact that people begin to meet other people and see who else is in their community and who else cares about their community. So I think that's where it is really successful, in getting people to feel they're part of something special. Really, the true resource of Poulton are the people of Poulton. If they can pull together, if they can start to act in a community-minded way, then they make the difference. You can't change this by throwing money at an area. You can only change it by making people feel that there's a hope and a positive spirit and that they care about it. So events like this, again, are the opportunity for people to really demonstrate that they care about where they live. And I think that is the real power of it, the networking, the feeling that you're part of a movement, that you're not isolated and alone. And so that's, for me, why it's such a valuable experience.
Right, well, that's it now. The next stage is to make sure that you've done all your scoring on your sheet. Members of staff will be coming round to collect them, so if you just want to hold them up in the air. And they're going to be all collated down there on the computers.
So, this is it. As they say on the telly, in no particular order, I'm going to read out the winning applications. Right, the Poulton Preschool Group. Where are you? Well done. Take a bow. The Morecambe Bay pupils for their playground equipment project. Well done, guys. St John's Ambulance. And last but not least, the Morecambe Brass Academy.
It's an absolutely fantastic day. It's the first time anything like this, or I've done any presentation or anything like this, so it's been a great opportunity for myself, but for the community, giving them a chance to vote on how the money's spent, it's been absolutely superb, and just to know that you've got the support of the community, it's been absolutely fantastic.
It's money well spent. We can't believe we've done it, but we are glad we came. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Well, we're delighted that the needs of the children have been recognised, and that they do feel that they've had a voice in making decisions and influencing decisions, and they've seen the way the decision-making and democratic process works, and it's been an all-round wonderful opportunity for the children, and to come out at the end of the day with some money for the school is an added bonus.
I think it's absolutely superb. I think any means by which local people, adults or children, can be drawn into making decisions which affect their future and their present. I particularly know quite a small scale like a Poulton Neighbourhood scheme. I think it's a really fantastic idea.
The next step is to talk more with colleagues at Lancaster City Council about how they might be able to use some of their mainstream budgets to do participatory budgeting in the future.